I don't remember what I dreamt last night, but on this night, my love will be a kite stuck in a tree.
For her, I will be a kite stuck in a tree, torn and tattered by elegance. No strings attached, far from the skyline, where solitude isn't a burden or preference.
It's more of a memory fading in and out,
the way the breeze brushes back and forth. In the distance, we wandered like strays across the museum's garden.
But we could feel the leaves rustle through the breeze.
As if they were speaking to me.
As if they already knew our story.
As if 1,000 years ago we sat under the same tree.
And said the exact same thing.
We were stuck in a dream. Where we unstitched our souls from the twisting and turning
of nights spent in each other's arms.
We woke up in tangled recollections.
Of film screenings.
And shared cereal bowls. I left my lips in her pockets intentionally. Intellectually, we found each other's nook. But why does comfort matter? When the yearning and striving rush of standstill hugs on platforms performs wonders within the walls of my chest, I heard the train tracks trembling, and I couldn't let go of your embrace.
So we bound our souls with bands of matrimony.
Memory loss isn't a burden, a preference.
It's a place we're bound to fall.
We trained our eyelids to savor the momentum of memory. I missed 5 trains for this feeling to last.
Missed 5 trains just to keep his memory intact.
I heard the final call and I couldn't let go.
Cause I remember that day in our youth where we shed our passions
on this platform, and we left them behind like fallen twigs for sparrows and blue jays to pick up, to carry us into that tree. Never once did we carve our names onto the trunk, for we knew those words would be in vain.
The way
childhood dialogue was forgotten. Love me now if you ever forget me. Love me today as the tide of amnesia rises. Love me on this hour when nostalgia no longer fills the brim of your cup. It was a forgotten orchid petal trapped inside of a novel. And I no longer know who put it there.
The weight of the image of him in my brain.
Yet when I see you, there's this resemblance.
His hues, the cadence of his brilliance, trip montages of our youth in my mind.
Don't share your epiphanies. I'm stuck on us staring silently at the same scene, rushing past each other's shoulders as if we were strange lovers who never met. Through nursing home windows, you won't recognize me.
I can't see it. Feel nothing.
But unfinished thoughts of each other. Yo. Do you believe in dinosaurs? When future inhabitants of the earth find our velvet thunder bones and resketch our designs, will they give us wings? When they find our naive skulls, will they even attempt to open our envelopes and read our scrolls?
I've seen people live their lives like landslides, becoming empty plastic bottles aligned the sides of streets, illustrating plastic constellations on pavement roads. I know how humans can become empty shells.
On concrete beaches, we can become waste where breath with no ambition becomes pollution. So breathe with purpose. Why waste our tongue? The air inside of our very lungs is begging. When future inhabitants find our opaque skeleton frames and resketch our designs, will they put our hearts in our heads and our brains in our chests? Don't just settle for living. Give it all you got, because this is all you got. The world is sailing, so catch the wind and sail with it. Life is a journey, so use your heart as a compass to live with intent.
Cast your footprints into hieroglyphics. What will we be remembered for?
If you ever find yourself
questioning the night sky,
or simply in need of closure, you can take my smile and hurl it into the air. We are the ones who created fireworks.
Our attempts to witness soaring illuminations of light through the black atmosphere.
When future inhabitants look into
To
our
our timid eye sockets.
will they say that our eyes were tainted, or that our pupils were bent into arced mirrors?
Reflections of each other. As we look into each other, would we be dinosaurs, remembered as intoxicated monstrosities?
Or gentle, loving creatures?
When future paleontologists become sculptors,
I hope they see our wings as the flaps of our books.
I hope they see our ribs as palms holding our breath, our souls with dents from holding knowledge and not craters of ignorance.
Dear future,
Will our fossils drape your museums?
will our global culture be considered a mistake?
When you find the ruins of our buildings, will you be able to tell the difference between our prisons and our schools?
Will you ever hear the oral traditions of jungle tribe mysticism?
Will you question the pyramids? To an unborn generation inheriting this earth,
Do
you believe in humans?
Damn.
This one.
All before her 18th birthday, she was given a chance to dance with the blue car voices. She was sent to the east of Rome and landed into the hands of the monster that she will call master for the next 10 years. Just 15 with dreams of being a world-renowned dancer, she grew in the arms of a Malaysian village where movement was the salvation of its people, and the song of hope was the wind. At the age of 11, she would sit on Russian mountainsides and dream of planting a seed for every fallen soldier, 50,000 trees, to give life to a land ruined by war. Her mother sold her for the equivalent of $4. Sold off into trafficking, she would be blindfolded, drugged, and left with her innocence in ruins, blown into a brothel where time was never of the essence, just injected into unwilling bodies. She found salvation in shared needles, so that when the weight of men became too heavy for their shattered bodies to handle, they would take up golden arms to fight off the burdens of womanhood. These women are 14 and 15 years old with the weight of the world on their navel. They are forced to sell whatever the hell is left after the beatings and after the overdoses. All they're left with is a tattered soul that they try to stitch back with dirty heroin needles. I want to send them letters in the hopes that my words would give them a voice, give them a reason to fight for a life that's not worth it. I want to tell her that she's worth it. So dear Shanti, I know that you will never read this, but I hope you feel my sorrow the way I feel your anguish. I hope you know that I see you in my dreams. As a little girl that doesn't have to bear a 50-year-old man on her pelvis, I want to tell her sweet lies, that I live amongst the people willing to fight for her rather than creatures who are being consumed by terrorism rather than the souls of our own stolen children. So focus on protecting a country bound to its own self-destruction. So fuck terrorism for a minute, fuck metal detectors, give me a human concubine so they will no longer slip by unnoticed. They are more than mere belongings with plane tickets tied to their wrists. So dear whoever the hell reads this letter, I have blown it into a brothel in the hopes that it will get lost the way she did. Shanti.
todo con la familia?
Tú sabes, bienvenido.
Yo feeling good, feeling nice. How was that party last night?
Party was sick, my dude. Carolina was there, Jose was there, Papa, everyone. But Carolina, up to her shit again. You know how she is. She was over there in the corner, like dancing, like, hey, what's up? And I was like, you look like foolish. Like nobody thinks you're cool.
What you mean we being too loud? It's a park. Papers. What you need my papers for?
My birth certificate.
Don't nobody leave the house with a birth certificate? Whoa. Wait a minute, man. These Minutemen are nothing but soccer moms with handguns. Querida Arizona, estoy buscando tus senos como un bebé tratando de sobrevivir. We are sons and daughters of those who weren't born in this country. Dejaron todo atrás en su país.
Spent years in labor trying to give birth to new life.
Buscando una vida nueva. Yo nací. I was born in los Estados Unidos. Yo crecí. Still growing and I see zoot suits torn from their bodies.
As if their clothes weren't enough.
Our identities. Querida Arizona, soy el desierto. Antes bañado en lágrimas, esperando el sol. We all wake up to the same sun. Mírame en los ojos, no importa el color de mi piel, solo el hambre de mi país. Un árbol nuevo, pero la misma raíz, maíz.
Cooked in our soup, the roots that inspired
Your food, Americanized,
but still.
Not ethnic enough to fool us. Soy Latino, lo digo con una piedra.
Y una flor en la misma mano.
But I've long dropped that stone.
And these flowers are only sold by the side of the road.
Neglected. Our faces reflected off of tinted windows, black, pelo negro. Como el alma de mi pueblo. Underground tunnels, you've made us ghosts. Dia de los Muertos, papers.
Papeles.
Which hand are they in? Same skin, same hair, same land, different origin. Soy colombiano.
Soy dominicana.
So, what does an immigrant look like?
Jan Brewer doesn't know.
I thought preserving this culture was more important than suppressing it.
Irish families feared famine.
They found railroads unfinished,
So they built futures for their children.
boats for their people,
Welcome mats on Ellis Island.
with an iron curtain across the Rio Grande. So they came, sailing towards white sands and blue skies.
Never did I think that red skin would look suspicious.
Never did I think that my father would look malicious. All under one sky. Deja que las estrellas iluminen tu camino. Those stars guided you back home. Niños del universo. Las caras en las montañas y el desierto.